Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
Alright, team. Today we're talking Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns are not getting along. They are in the midst of an underwhelming season, and they currently have a lack of assets, which is leading them to putting their players on the trading block. Now, this leads us to this post right here. Shout out to Legion Hoops. Shams Charania is reporting Kevin Durant and the Suns are expected to work together to trade him to a contender this offseason. Now, if y'all haven't realized by now, when players are getting traded, now the Spurs are at the top of their destination list. This is because you have Wemby, now you have Fox, and I'm sure the league is getting put on notice by Stephon Castle. So today I am bringing y'all this video to kind of test the waters. What are y'all thinking? Should the Spurs make this move for Kevin Durant, or should they play it a little safe and go some other routes, like go for Nas Reed or something? There's no doubt that this would be a great basketball fit to add to the team, but I'm just wondering how much Kevin Durant would actually cost, and he is an older player. So let me know what y'all guys are thinking down below in the comment section. Shout out to Jeff G and Spurs Amico. Y'all go ahead and give them a follow. Spurs, Mavericks, Timberwolves, Rockets, Lakers, Heat to pursue Kevin Durant trade in offseason. For all of these teams, it would make sense. Kevin Durant is one of the best plug-and-play players we've ever seen, and so no matter what team you put him on, it's going to be a good fit. I don't know what's going wrong with the Phoenix Suns. I'm not entirely tapped in with them, but they're not having a great season. But like I said, Kevin Durant will cost a lot, especially you have all these teams going after him, and I'm sure they're willing to put it all on the line for Kevin Durant. So that brings up the question, what will the Spurs be willing to give up, and what are y'all willing to give up? Because I'm excited to hear what y'all have to say. Me personally, I think you have to give up Keldon Johnson, maybe Devin Vassell, depending on if it's a three-team trade or not, and some picks, because the Suns need to replenish that lost draft capital. And you see down here, shout out to Robert Anthony, not with our first rounders. I totally respect the man, but not giving away our future. And that's kind of my thoughts. You don't want to give up your entire future for like 2 or 3 years of Kevin Durant, because who knows how long he's going to play. But there's no doubt that this would be a huge acquisition. Along with Wemby, he would be excited because, you know, he has looked up to Kevin Durant growing up. That's one of his favorite childhood idols. So there's no doubt in my mind that that would be an exciting team to watch. You have Fox, and the Spurs will be looking to build like a super team for a couple of seasons. And this would ultimately make them contenders next season if they acquire Kevin Durant without giving up the entire team. If you can keep De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Sohan, and Wemby, then that team looks pretty legit. That team could be in the finals as soon as next season. Of course, if they don't have any injury issues or camaraderie issues, because, you know, whenever teams make a big trade like this, it takes a little while to gel. But I think just off talent alone, I think that the Spurs would be a contender next season if they land Kevin Durant. And like I said, the question comes from how much are you going to pay for Kevin Durant? It's not the skill. I understand his age. I think he's 36, 37. How old? They got his age on here? So he's 36 years old. He will be 37 next season, and he's already had a torn Achilles. Not to diminish him as a player, because he's putting up 27 points per game, shooting 50% from the field. He can also grab you some boards and dime up. He can really do it all. Kind of an underrated defender, but I don't know how long that will last because he is getting up there in age. And so as of right now, there's not a lot of news of what the Suns would be asking for, but I could only imagine that they want 3 to 4, maybe 5 first round picks for Kevin Durant, because like I said, they don't have draft capital right now. I don't know when's the next time they even own their own first round pick. So it's going to be a hefty price, but I'm wondering if it could kind of be like a De'Aaron Fox situation where Kevin Durant says, I want to go to San Antonio, and so you could get him for a lower price, along with if you bring in a third team. So there's a lot of factors that would go into the overall cost for Kevin Durant. But if you could get him on a good deal, like if you could get him for 3 first round picks, Keldon Johnson, maybe Devin Vassell, in a 3-team trade to where they're giving up some more picks too, so where the Suns would ultimately leave with like 6 first round picks, some solid players, I think that would work for the Spurs, and I would be okay with that as long as you're not giving up crazy picks or like sending out all your first round picks to where you end up like the Atlanta Hawks or the Phoenix Suns. So let me know what y'all guys are thinking. But like I said, I think this could be appealing to Kevin Durant. It could also be appealing to the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama, because it's just like not a match made in heaven, but if you put that team together, I don't know who's stopping that team. You have Victor Wembanyama, Kevin Durant, you have a team with two of the most unguardable, unstoppable, glitchy players, if that makes sense, demigod players on the same team, along with De'Aaron Fox and a rising star in Stephon Castle. So basketball-wise, this makes sense, but financial-wise, I don't know if this will go down. But before we get out of here, let's go ahead and tune into Kevin Durant talking about why he blocked the Suns and Warriors deal at the trade deadline. If y'all didn't know, Kevin Durant was supposed to be traded in mid-season, but he actually declined and said he didn't want to go anywhere. And in this video, we are going to see why he said that. With that being said, let's jump straight into it.
A few weeks ago, you said you didn't want to be traded in the middle of the season, which is why you didn't come to the Warriors, which I thought was going to happen. I was at the game. I was like, oh, man, KD came over here. He showed me love. I was like, oh, we about to get KD. Do you want your career to end in Phoenix?
Man, I want my career to end on my terms. That's the only thing.
Bingo.
And this came out before that tweet that we went over that said that Kevin Durant and the Suns are going to work on a deal in the offseason.
That's the only thing I'm worried about. You know what I'm saying?
That's all that matters.
Because I see a lot of dudes that don't get that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So I want to keep putting in that work to, make that choice on my own. But as far as the Warriors, I just didn't think it was, and then I didn't want to move. And then as a player like me, I cost a lot. Me going into your team is going to make it's going to be a whole new era of your team when I get to your team. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's a lot of work and
change
through the season. Like, I'm still of value, you know what I'm saying? Especially in my contract and just my production, that me just getting up and moving in the middle of the season, it's going to be a big blow to any team I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get why y'all want to trade me, and y'all looking at it just from simple fact that's just business. But from me looking at it, I'm just like, it just don't make sense for either side right now to go through that. You know what I'm saying? When we just play the season out, and if that's the decision you want to make, in the off season, then you figure it out.
So be it. Yeah.
It's just such a big change to make, and I've been through it before. I was like, damn, that's not really it.
So Kevin Durant said that he didn't want to move because he just didn't want to move during the NBA season, you know the real life logistics behind that, and that the team trading for him would have to give up a lot to get Kevin Durant, and he doesn't want to deplete a team mid-season. So that makes me wonder, would the price even go down regardless of if he's getting traded in the offseason or he's getting traded mid-season? I don't think so, but I think it gives teams a chance to look and really evaluate what you want to give up for Kevin Durant instead of making a quick deal like that just to get him on your team. So I could see it from that standpoint. And thinking about it, the Spurs have 2 lottery picks this season, which, I mean, I don't know. It could be enticing for the Suns to want to get those 2 draft picks, or maybe even one. You could keep yours and give up the Hawks one, or give up the most valuable one, and you could still keep one in that trade package. I don't know. Maybe I'm already starting to look a little too deep into it, but it is exciting. The possibility that the Spurs have a chance at Kevin Durant. What comes to mind is Kevin Durant and Victor Wembanyama on the same team. I can't even imagine what that would look like. It's pretty much unguardable. Not to mention all the stuff that Wemby would download from Kevin Durant being with him the entire in and out of the season. So I think this could be extremely beneficial, and I know we mentioned his age, but I think he could give you a solid 5 years. Not saying he's going to be all NBA for those entire 5 years. He might decline a little bit, but he's still one of the greatest scorers that we've ever seen. So he's at least going to give you 17 points per game until he retires. Just off his shooting and elite mid-range and pulling up over people, like, his game is aging pretty gracefully. And so if the Spurs make a deal where they give up 3 to 4 first-round picks and some solid players, and I'll catch y'all later. It's me and boy Chris, and I'm out.